Stampers and crafters, it's Kevon from ktstamps.com creating cards for you. And I am away right now, and I just wanted to make sure that I kept up my Happy Wednesday sketch days for you. So today our sketch comes from Really Robin Stamps. You know how much I love this woman. And she does the best sketches ever. On my blog, you can find this design, and you can find all the measurements below. Now, some of this I am not going to follow to the T, but I'm going to do my best. So my first card that I am going to share with you looks like this. And you can see that I use some of the new online exclusive designer series paper. This is called Flowering Zinnias. And again, it's just designer series paper. It has beautiful, again, just like what Stampin' Up! Does, has something on the front and then some type of support on the back end. You got your greens. Look at all these zinnias. Aren't they beautiful? So anyway, what I did is that I took my Simply Zinnia, and I went in with this die, and I just placed it on one of the flowers, and I just cut around it. Instead, you could cut this with scissors. I just decided to be a little bit lazy and cut it with the die cuts. So I also am using another online exclusive, and this is called Sweetly Script, and I did the Speedy Recovery. I also brought in the dies from Sending, and I just did this great big one in basic white, and then I stamped this. Or you could stamp and cut. You can go either way. And then on the inside of my card, I used the big stamp from the Simply Zinnia, and then I used another stamp, Comforting Thoughts, and just said that I hope this is a feeling better kind of day. So that's what I did. Now you can see that there's a small little cut in between here. And on this, you will measure 2.5 inches from the top and make a tick mark. And we'll do that on the next one. And then 1.5 inches and do a tick mark. And then you'll cut straight across. Now with this cardstock, I cut it. And then what I did is use the Zinnia 3D. And you can see from the next card that I made, all right, it's just the opposite. So if you use cardstock, there are 2 different cardstocks that you can use, and you're going to get 2 different cards. And you can make, I should say, 2 different cards. So again, on the next card, please make sure that you have your ruler and a pencil so you can make a tick mark. All right, and we're going to put this card together right now. So again, after I cut 2.5 to my 1.5, I'm just going to bring in my basic gray, or excuse me, my basic white. Go ahead and stamp some type of flower at the bottom, and then go ahead and stamp your sentiment. And then I am just bringing in my multi-liquid glue, and I am just going to make a little bit of a mess and put as little as I can on here. And I'm going to just try to make sure that I have the spacing. So there's good spacing, and I can also leave a space at the bottom. So then I'm going to take my bottom, you just want to make sure that it sticks in the corners. And I'm going to line this up. And my top is the anchor, and my bottom is what I'm just going to line the top up from. All right, we'll use our glue again on the next card. So now what you want to do is that I have already tied my bow, and my bow comes from the Ribbon Duo combo pack, and it's either lemon lime or it's petal pink. And I just decided to make a huge line, or bow, I'm sorry. So I can stick that on, and then I'm going to add some dimensionals to this so I can also just stick it onto the card. So that's how I'm doing this one. And now I am going to grab my pokey tool, and this is from Take a Pick tool, and I am going to add, I'm going to double stack this. Now I'm double stacking it because I want to make sure that on this one, I kind of squished it. So it looks like the flower is bowing. So this time what I wanted to do is make sure that I got a big layer so then it doesn't bow in the middle. I hope you guys are having a great day. And I really thank you for those who spend the time with me. I thank you for everybody who goes back and takes a look at the recording afterwards, or you get it on YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I love it when you share your cards with me. So now I'm just taking a glue dot, putting it on the back, making sure that, let's try this over again, making sure that the bow is nice and wide, and then we're going to add this on top. Now, do you see what I did is that it isn't bowing, it's just a nice flat flower. I really, really, really like that. And then what I'm doing on this last one is that this is the Speedy Recovery, and all I'm going to do is just glue it on here. And I am just going to let it float, so the sides will float. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of glue on it. Line it right up, so whoops. It's also going so your eyes are seeing the parallel lines between the small little gap here and then the Speedy Recovery. Now remember, if you happen to get glue at the bottom, just take your embossing buddy. And you can either get this with the glass. Oh, I lie. You can get this with your embossing accessory kit. Well worth it. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Then what I'm doing is taking my fine purple shimmer gems, and I am going to add the Highland. What is it? The Highland. I know I have it on here. Highland Heather at the bottom. And then I am going to add the gorgeous grape on the top. And then my card's put together. So we have one card that is done. Woohoo! So there you go. Whoops. That's our card. So now I'm going to bring in the next card. And it looks like this. So again, I used many things. I took the stipple rose and I just made a cut from the stipple rose with the, I think it was with with the Zinnia, Simply Zinnia die again. And then I used my Deckled circles, and I think I am on the smaller side. I'm sorry. Nope. Oh, it's the bigger one. Yes. So it is, depending on how you want to look at it, it is 4th from the center, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 from the outside. But this is the Deckled circle dies. Love them. So that's what I used on the lemon lolly. I have all my blends. I have Granny Apple combo. I have Lolly Lemon combo. And I have the combo for the combo for the Starry Skies. Then where I got this back is that this is from the Delightful Dollies. And I just thought how beautiful that is. And this is all Starry Sky that I did. And then I put a little bit of the Stipple Rose. It's the small Stipple Rose right here. And then something fancy. I used Nothing Fancy, Just Love on the inside. And then where did I get, oh, and then back to the Stipple Rose, I used Best Birthday Wishes. I used the brass butterflies, and then I used, again, I love this ribbon. Love this ribbon. It is, I'm going to throw this back in there. It is called Sheer Ribbon Combo. And there it is. And it has 3 colors. Has the Lemon Lolly, the Bubble Bath, and the Assure Afternoon. All right, so that's what we're going to use to put this together. Also, I used the Distress Tile. That is a 3D, and I don't know how well you can, there you go. You get a chance to see what that looks like. I'm looking for my cutter. Oh. Sorry about that. I wanted to make sure that I brought in my paper trimmer so you could see how I put everything together. So the first thing that's going to happen is that you're going to do all your die cuts. So you're going to emboss, die cut, stamp, and then your die cuts. And we'll cut this down in just a minute. All right, so you have your basic Starry Skies. So the first thing that we're going to do is that we're just going to take our Stampin' Seal, turn this over, and we are just going to adhere this to the inside of the card. And we'll do some more with this in just a second. So now that we have that, we're going to move that out of the way. And I want to bring in this so you can see what we're going to do. So with this, we are going to bring in our ruler, and we are going to measure 2.5. And all we're going to do is put a tick mark there. You're barely going to be able to even see it. All right, on the other side, we're going to go 1.5 and add a tick mark there. Again, you're not going to be able to see that very much. So then we are going to bring in our paper trimmer, and we are going to find the 2.5 and the 1.5. And we're just putting it right in this crease where the trimmer will cut right up the center. When you lay down this arm, you want to make sure that you can see the tick mark and it's lined up right in this little trench. And you should be able to see both. Then you're going to make your cut. Oops, let's try that one more time. I made my cut, but it didn't cut very well. Let's try that one more time. I'm hoping I can get the exact same cut again. There we go. So now we have our cut. Then you're going to bring back in your pencil. Sorry, my trimmer fell apart. And you're just going to gently wipe away the tick marks. And that's all you really need to do. So for this one, we're going to layer this differently. So we're going to add the dimensionals to it. And that's how we're going to do the back. So I've turned that over already. And all I'm going to do is just take your pick tool, add about 5. I'm going to do 6 on the top. And you might as well get yourself ready by doing the bottom one too. Again, I'll probably do it about the same. Hit the corners. So you got all 4 corners. And then I'm going to put probably a little more in the middle. So that's what those are going to look like. So now we're just going to take off all the dimensional color or covers. And then we're gently going to eyeball because this is tone on tone. That. Then we are going to take the second piece, get rid of all the dimensionals, and then we're going to line this up. There we go. All right. So now we are just going to take a piece. I don't know how big this is. Let me get my scissors and I will line up the bottom and tell you. It's about 11 inches. All right, so that's where we're going to be. So we are going to grab our doily and we are going to put, I probably should not do that. We are going to put some mono on it or liquid glue. And I'm just going around the edges where I can find that we can keep this adhered down. And then I am going to bring my ribbon down. And this is the hardest part. Bring my ribbon down. And then I'm going to bring my little lolly lemon piece and put it down. And I guess you don't need that much. And I'm going to put it right in the center. And I'm just going to adhere it with some of the Stampin' seal. So maybe you need just like 11, like 10, 9 inches. There you go. And then I'm going to take my scissors and cut them both down so they fit on the card. All right, there you go. So then this is a couple of inches, so probably 9 inches is all you're going to need. Then we're going to move that aside for a second, grab our rose. And this one may not get as much color because I used the smaller rose for one cut, and then I used the larger. And you can see that we just really got the bottom to this. I think it's looking more like here. So I'm missing a lot of the lolly on this one. But we are going to start off, and I'm just using the flare, and we are just going to start off circles around. I stamped this with Memento. Memento ink, one of the best that you can use with blends. And I'm just going around in circles just to color it in. All right, so there is that. Now on this, I also have a color lifter because I'm going to just pull a little bit of color from this. I'm going to then use my Granny Apple Green. And just put it down towards the bottom. Where I think the leaves are. And then I'm going to bring in my dark Granny Apple, and I'm just going to outline. Just so you can see the difference. And it really adds some nice light to it. And you can really see how it just pops itself. I love that. And then I'm just bringing in some of the lolly right here. And there's an empty space here. I'm just going to add that so you can get a little bit of contrast. Sorry, and I'm going back and forth between the two on whether I used the one that's a little bit more of a flare versus the one that is a little bit lighter. And then I'm going to bring in my dark, and I'm just going to follow the leaves of the flower. And that's where you're going to be able to see the different colors. The lighter ones will pop just a little bit more by being outlined. And it just is such a pretty way to color. You can make some of the lines a little bit darker just to match, like right in here, there's a whole bunch of little black dots, so you might as well just kind of highlight it. And it just makes things pop just a little bit. I really like it. So now I got some dark in some places, so all I'm going to do is come and remove some of the color. I didn't do it as bad as I did on the last one. There you go. And it doesn't take the color away. It just kind of gives it a little bit of a lighter shade, for me at least. And then I'm going to take my Stella, color the whole thing in, and make sure that it really pops. I want the leaves to pop. I want the zinnias to pop. So there we go. You can see. And I'm also going to go inside on my yellow rose and color it in. So when you open the card, you get a little pop of glitter. There you go. So then we're going to turn this over, add some dimensionals. I'm going to go about 3, make a little triangle with it. Take them off to the side. Stick that right in the middle. Isn't that beautiful? Love it. Then I'm going to bring in my snips. And all I'm going to do is cut this at an angle. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. and cut this one at an angle. Let me see, make sure. And that's how I'm going to get my sentiment being, looks like it has been die cut. Love it. And then I'm going to take 2 of these, place them on the side. Come on right down there. And we have it. Now all I have to do is add my butterflies. So this is the final thing we need to do. And I think I'm going to go the other direction. And I'm just going to add a butterfly up here. I'm going to add another one right over here in the corner. And then I'm going to go for a big one and put it, oops, I'm going to put it right down here. So then again, we have our triangle, but yet we have the butterflies just really showing off the project. Oh my goodness. So thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being with me today. And I appreciate your time. I'll get rid of all of that so you can see the cards that I created. There they are. And I just really appreciate you coming and spending today with me. And I love this. I want to give a big shout out again to Really Robin Stamp for her beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sketch. So you guys have a great day. This has been Kevon from ktstamps.com. And that's also where you will go to find the picture of the sketch, and any of the information that you need will be on my blog. And then my motto, creating cards for you. So have a great day, stampers, crafters, and friends. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.